now tuned in to By the Gods Podcast.
Yes. Once again, we have returned traveling across stars to land here on this small blue ball you call Earth. Transcending time and space, the paths of man and beast intersect once again. I am your host, Mason O'Ken. This is By the Gods. Joining me, a plethora, probably said that wrong.
Invented.
Of many
new word.
See, I have to add, I have a vocabulary. I just don't use it very well. We'll start with our host and lead into our guest, Don Juan. Introduce yourself.
Your boy Decade bringing the heat once again. Not trying to rhyme, but I'm trying to find a fire to bring it to you to make sure this shit remains entertaining as it always has been. We have returned, and we keep doing it as soon as we have the heat.
That's right. That's right. Pass the ball over to the side. Hopefully he catches it. I don't know what kind of ball player he is. Do the thing, got him.
All right. First off, I don't play no ball. I ain't going to embarrass myself. I'll see y'all with these hands, though, because I am Joe Godhand, a.k.a. Joe Got Hands of Trapped in Anime fame.
Yes.
Up and coming FGC competitor / commentator.
Hey.
Okay, that's all my shameless plugs for now, but don't worry, there'll be more later.
What we have in guests is a mixture of pro and casual. You could even say both when it comes to prayer hands. I'm just playing. No, prayer hands is I'm just playing. Don't beat me up. Don't whoop my ass. So we will start first with the one that's up top, the one that is always showing every stream that she can for fighting games that she's been doing for at least 3 years now, who will be celebrating her stream anniversary for Fighting Dreamers coming up here. Probably next weekend. Jada Goddess, please introduce yourself.
People.
Yeah, that's it. Just hi. Is all you got? Yeah. Oh, people clap. Okay, there you go.
Oh, no, I ain't clap for that. Go ahead. Tell them who you are.
I am Joe's rival in Tekken.
Oh, you ain't got to lie, but yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that was pretty much it. Okay.
It's a good thing it was blurry, so we get that monetization.
Oni, please introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. So it's your boy Oni X. That's the full name. I am a Tekken competitor. I am 65th at Evo, and I am the greatest of all time when it comes to being the shenanigan god. And I love foxes.
Yeah.
And that is who I is.
Yeah. Yeah. And please keep in mind when he says 65th at Evo, remember when it comes to Evo competitors, that is a number that lines in the thousands. So being 65th is pretty good. Moving over to our final guest.
Oh, hey, I'm prayer hand emoji, just like the emoji. It's from Mac Miller lyrics, though.
He invented the prayer hands emoji.
Yeah, for sure.
We have it because of him.
I should have worn the chain, but I forgot. I don't know. I play Tekken. I would love to variety stream one day, but hey, I love traveling to events, and we're just out here trying to make a name for ourselves, I guess.
That's what's up. Kansas in the chat, and for everyone that's currently in the chat, Mo, Sean, everyone that is pulling up, everyone that is here, please make sure to share this on your respective social media. Not only should this be shared on Facebook, and not only should it be shared on Instagram, not only Twitter, currently known as X, but also the hub of porn, because it is a media. Share it there.
Share it everywhere. You'd be surprised what kind of off-the-wall content you'll find on there.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Right now, I don't know if y'all have looked. Oh, what are you gonna say?
I found a whole guide for Tears of the Kingdom in Pornhub.
Boy, I was just about to say, whatever that boss was from Elden Ring with the red hair and the long sword, she's all over Pornhub right now, bro.
Melania, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, no bull. One time I did stumble upon a documentary on the development of Tekken Tag 2 on one of those sites. So there's plenty of valuable educational content in there somewhere.
I'm sure your hands swayed when you found that content.
Did you know Pornhub's banned in Texas unless you send them a picture of your ID?
But you want to know the funny part? After they did that, searches for VPNs went up 400%.
Oh, I bet.
Damn.
Is this true?
This is dead. This is
Yeah.
current. This is news. This is real.
This
I
is
swear to
also
God.
the state you're allowed to walk with katanas in the streets. Just give people.
God.
Can you not do that here? I feel like you can definitely do that here.
Getting into the topic.
Yeah.
Does anyone even play video games anymore?
Yeah,
And
I
will
play it from time to
explain-
time,
No,
man.
yeah, you do. You play, But see, here's the thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because you got handed somebody likes to play games offline. A lot of friends do. The Metroids, the
Yakuza.
the Yakuzas, whatever it may be.
Resident
Dragon's
Evil.
Dogmas, all of these games, which is great. But the issue is everyone does not like fighting their hardest challenge anymore. If there is a boss you can't get through, you must bitch about it. Somebody does. At least this generation does. And even if that makes you upset, even if you were a part of that generation, prepare to get mad because that's what we do here by the gods. The point of this entire podcast today is about nerfs, buffs, fixes, bugs, and we move on from there. I want to start things by saying, because it's mostly going to be a primarily could be a thing about Tekken, but this happened a couple years ago when our tech guy right now, Captain, Nick, whichever 50 different names, when he was playing Elden Ring and noticed on Twitter that they were saying there were people that needed the bosses to be nerfed because they were too difficult. This happened again last year in August with Armored Core on the 25th when it came out. Bosses were too difficult. They literally nerfed 3 of the bosses. What'd you say? Did you say monkey mush? Did you do the thing?
Mindless monkey mush, as
We're-
said by a famous philosopher.
I'm
It
so
happened
glad that
way
is
back when Monster
donkey.
Hunter World came out.
I'm glad you said that. I got you later, Jay the Goddess. And yes, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, DK. So the scenario there is that I don't remember if Elden Ring did it, but Armored Core listened. They definitely nerfed the bosses in Armored Core, and people got very upset about it because it was like, for what? Why? We cut, and this is the funny part, is this is all Bandai Namco. I'm not saying they're the devs, but they are the publisher. Right? And the other scenario there, so we have Elden Ring, we have Armored Core, and now we have Tekken. Bandai Namco seems to hear these things or whatever and just go and tell their devs, do exactly what they said. Nerf this, fix that, buff that, do that. And it's become
I'll have a
very
retort to
annoying
that,
for
but
me.
go on.
Well, it's very annoying for me because I love things to be difficult, right? If you love anime, right, and you say that you live in the anime lifestyle, the whole point is to have the boss or have that thing that is harder for you to climb the ladder of and
Hold on.
defeat and beat and feel great about.
I need a big button. Give me a second. Here we go.
How big of a button?
I got to call you out on that a little bit.
Call me.
Because I know as much as you are part of that anime lifestyle and you about, piercing the heavens with the drill of not the drill that believes in itself, but the drill.
You're going to fail it so bad. Just stop it. I hate you.
But my thing is, you got everything that you could have possibly dreamed of with Tekken 7. You got your favorite character. It was the big comeback after the not critical failure, but the financial failure that was Tekken Tag 2. Almost killed the series. Kind of was on life support with Tekken Revolution, and then made a comeback in a big bad way with Tekken 7, and to date made it the best-selling Tekken game of all time.
Yep.
You got the character that you follow into any video game for.
Yes, into hell.
Into Tekken.
I would follow into hell. Yes.
That doesn't.
But you did not venture past that first rock into Yomi. You did not go into the
No,
depths.
I did. But I again, quote me, because I said boss fight, and I did not shy away from the boss fight, regardless of how the boss fights were, hard or not. I did them on the hardest difficulty. We didn't
I
say.
ain't talk, look,
We
I
didn't
ain't
say
talking
you're,
about
you're
that.
talking about playing players.
The game.
The
I'm talking
game.
about, yeah.
Play right. Yeah, I didn't go that far with it. I was
But
terrible.
where was all
at it.
that anime
Oh
mentality
no,
then,
I'm terrible.
brother?
Huh? The anime mentality.
Yeah.
I got my ass beat. I didn't want to continue anymore. I gave up. I quit. I played Street Fighter 5.
Aren't you the one complaining
which-
about everybody
which is-
complaining about this
which is-
shit? And you're
right,
just gonna
which
give
is-
up?
This man is a
which
fraud.
I played Street
I'm the
Fighter
host
5.
of the show now.
I'm a Street Fighter player. I'm not a Tekken player.
Ooh.
No,
So
you're
I'm
not.
okay
You're not
admitting it.
Nah,
I don't
Okay,
think
but
I,
you know-
I don't. No. You're not a Street Fighter player or a Tekken player. You are an Akuma
Exactly.
enthusiast.
which is exactly what I was
You know
about
what?
to bring
I'll
this button
hold
again.
that. I can hold. See, I would agree with that if I wasn't playing other fighting games currently.
But that's
Then
but you're
that
playing
would-
it at a
then that
very
would make
you're,
sense.
you're playing it at a level that it's like it's not a competitive level, but you were playing them for fun.
So
Yes
I
and
would
no.
agree. Again, I would agree to that
Yes and no.
if I didn't make top 8 in Grand Blue in Cincinnati.
When?
This was
Exactly.
this
When?
was two. This was not Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, the old Grand Blue, the trash one.
Oh, okay.
How many entrants were
3
there?
years ago, huh? Oh, it
How
wasn't
many
that many interests. It was like maybe it was like 25 players. It
Now,
wasn't that big.
now,
Yeah,
actually,
that
now,
wasn't
hold
that
on.
big.
Whoa,
That's at least
now,
a kind of
wasn't
real topic.
now,
That was
hold
like
on
5
now.
cats playing that game, so like we can't really account for that one.
Yeah.
I got
I had a character in it that I like. My thing is, when I play, okay, because I don't want to
I
spend
would
too far on the
higher
topic.
than an enthusiast. I would put you higher than an enthusiast, okay? Because I've seen you putting in the work. I've seen you putting in
Oh
the
yeah,
hours.
they haven't seen it
I've
exactly.
seen
You've
challenge-
watched. They haven't seen it.
Challenging people. I've seen you going to the tournaments. I've seen it all. This rookies might not have seen it, but I got you. I'm logging. This was what
Thank
I
you.
do. Decay.
Yeah, exactly. Logging. Exactly. You've
I'm
seen it.
gonna put the button away for now, but
Yes.
I almost rang the
Yeah,
button on
honestly,
you on that one. Here,
Yes,
go ahead.
that's fine. No, it's okay.
Goes a little beyond the enthusiasm. You know, it's more of an Akuma soul player. Okay, it isn't created with them. This man will play Smash Brothers if Akuma
Yes,
wasn't there.
if he was there, thank you. Yes,
This man would play Mario Party if Akuma
Thank you.
wasn't there.
amen. Or Shadow.
Enthusiasm is anything that he can get his hands on, even Destiny. If Akuma can get a gun and hop in space, he would try to make it competitive in any way, shape, or form.
Wait,
he
so he's
can.
not in Fortnite yet?
Right.
Oh,
If
that would be
listen,
fun.
I have to make one comment. If Akuma was in Fortnite, I'm not doing it.
That's where you draw the line. Huh? Okay.
When he has a gun, I didn't want to do it when they gave him a gun in Tekken. Okay, but when Akuma has a gun, that's when I turn it off. That's
Listen,
when I
man.
turn it off.
So if
Better
they
please.
released a Akuma the Hedgehog spin-off title where he's got guns and he's riding on motorcycles, you wouldn't be messing with that shit.
Never in my life.
What are you
You
talking about?
You know
would
what?
We're talking
probably-
about Shadow the Hedgehog.
How'd
The
you all
only
get
time
onto this
Akuma can-
topic when we were talking about balance
right,
in
okay,
a,
you're
in a
right. Thank
fucking
you,
single
thank you.
player game?
Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Thank you.
Balance in a single player game.
So
Okay, let's get it.
we're gonna pass this on to everyone else real quick. So I just want to make sure that we completely understand here. There were buffs and there were nerfs to just single players. Moving into the Tekken scenario, right? And I had this discussion with with Perhands just maybe a few days ago. There is a new character. There's Eddie, right? And when Eddie came, a patch came, or was the patch before Eddie?
No, it was at the same time.
It was at the same time. Where
And they
if
fucked
you
everything up.
activate Rage Art, and he had to teach me this because I remember Tekken 7 Rage Art, and I remember it being where if you took hits, right, during activating your Rage Art, the amount of hits you take
Hyper armor in there.
is how there's armor, but it depends on the number of hits before if the Rage Art hits or not. And Prayer Hands is saying when Rage Art hits, period, it takes full priority. Doesn't matter how many hits you do on it, whatever.
Unless you die.
We saw a video.
You through the hyper armor now?
Well, so we saw a video recently of Howron, the kicker, right? And he did like just a 3 kick. Was it a high or a medium? Was it a medium?
Highs.
It was a high. There were like 3 kick highs that he was doing. And someone in the middle of it smashed the shit out of the Rage Art button, right?
As it should.
To counter Rage Art. And the 3 kicks went through 3 hits of armor through the Rage Art, and the Rage Art didn't finish.
Well, it also counter hit, which is also not supposed to happen.
So
So the Rage Art didn't trigger, but he still got hit.
No, the
He
Rage
got
Art
counter
happened.
hit.
Right.
No, the
Just
Rage Art
didn't-
did not happen. The freeze frame happened. And
Okay,
she
yeah,
got
the
counter hit out
animation
of
for
it.
the Rage Art happened, but she got counter hit out of it. Yeah, it didn't.
That's
she
what
didn't
I'm
get hit
saying.
by it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
For me, so for me, the way I saw it was there were 3 hits from the kick and 3 hits of armor, like or armor break or whatever, went through the rage art. Like you got 3 hits off of the rage art, and then the rage art stopped because it couldn't go any further. You can only go through 3 hits. That's what I thought was happening.
That's so crazy.
But they're telling me that's incorrect and that shouldn't happen.
Who should I send a video to so we can show it on stream so people know what we're talking about?
I don't think. See, we're not that technology. We're not that advanced.
Yeah. Well,
We're
can I
not there
weigh in
yet?
on this?
Okay,
The
fine.
one for the single player specifically.
Yeah, go ahead.
With buffs and nerfs. I mean, when it comes to that, it's obviously a very different. I'm going
I
to
DM this
illuminate
guy.
myself a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely dark as fuck over
Scary.
there. What's up?
You know what? Screw it. We're just gonna
She
leave it
said
like
you're
that.
scary, and she got off the camera. She
All right. Well, she's the ninja. All right. I don't know what you're talking about, but anyway. So when it comes to like buffing and nerfing and making balance changes to like single player games, I feel like it's less taboo there and it's a lot less complicated because at the end of the day, the goal should just be to have fun with whatever game you're playing because you're probably playing on more of a casual level. So it's very different from fighting games where there's that competitive aspect to it. There was similar stuff that went down. A lot of people know about like how David Jaffe was clowning on Metroid Dread when it came out because he got stuck in a room very early on after the game told him at the very beginning, hey, if you get stuck, try shooting at your surroundings and you may find a secret passageway. And this dude was complaining that, oh my God, how was I supposed to know to shoot at the ceiling where there's enemies right up there that my first instinct would be to shoot at, and there's all these lighting and color things
How
guiding
about
my eyes in this direction. Like,
read a little bit. Have you thought of that?
Y'all, wait, so have y'all seen that clip of the game journalist that got stuck in the tutorial for Cuphead?
oh my God.
Oh, I heard about that. I did hear
That's-
about that.
That's what that reminds me of.
No,
At that point, you're just kind of stupid.
same energy, same
You
energy.
gotta take that L.
But yeah, at the same time, it's like for me as someone who loves Metroid Dread, the game on my first run through was challenging as hell. Like there would be points where I'd come up to a boss fight and I'm like, yo, there is no way to get past this thing until I figured out how to get past the thing.
Listen, man, I think they did a mistake with Dread. There was only one thing I didn't agree with, and that was a counter. You can't put a counter in there. When a Souls player comes into any game with a counter on, it's a wrap. It's just easy
a
mode
wrap.
now because everything that comes at you, you just counter it. Bam. What's up now? Bam. What's up now?
But I think that they added a good enough amount of variety to the point where you couldn't rely solely on the counter. Like there was different timings involved. There were certain points where you couldn't counter. There's probably some enemies that you couldn't counter at all. There was
course not,
counters that
yeah.
So there was like certain ways that they balanced it out. So
But
and,
the mobs were definitely like 70% of them counter. Even some bosses had some points where you could even counter them.
yeah.
And at that point, you were like, I'm just laughing at you.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, there's probably one enemy where I felt like, okay, this does trivialize it a little bit. It's for anybody that plays Metroid, there was like some Chozo soldiers that had been infected by X-Parasite spoilers, and trying to shoot them normally was nearly
Yeah.
impossible. They tanked so many hits, but then one counter and they're dead. That
Yep.
was a little off, but that was pretty much like the only one that really felt off to me.
Jay the
Personally.
Goddess, do you or have you been put in any situation where you've played a game recently? Now, it doesn't have to be a fighting game. Just you fought against something that was difficult and you felt like it needed to be nerfed or something like that. You couldn't keep playing forward without the devs going in and making a fix for you.
I mean, probably Tekken, because that's what I've been on the most lately.
So, as in, like you've been playing against players and you feel like there should be nerfs, or
the
like, did you
computer.
have that issue during the
Just
story?
being in general, like, why the fuck did they buff him and nerf Drag and Reyna?
Wait, buff who?
What? Dragonov's fucking crazy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he. What do you
Bro,
mean?
This
Okay.
man grapples you to the ground.
I mean,
Come
I'm not saying
on.
King's not crazy, but you cannot. Dragunov and Rhea, bro, both those characters are good, and Dragunov's crazy good.
So,
What about Brian? What about
Oh
Eve?
shit! Oh shit!
Can we
What
talk about Brian?
about-
Is
She
it
said the
time?
B word. She
Is it
just said
time
the
to
B
talk
word.
about Brian Fury? Because I got some things to say about
Brian?
Brian Fury.
I think Brian's in a pretty good spot. It's just his jabs are fucking trash.
Well, they fixed it. They fixed it.
They say they did.
Hanjo?
Let me tell you something about Brian Fury. This is a Tekken 101 for all you boys and girls out there. You see this? See this lovely device of technology right here? This is a controller if you touch it, if you press buttons, if you breathe on it, if you look at it wrong while playing Brian, you're dead. So don't fucking
It's
touch
true,
the
the
thing.
ticket
All right.
jump.
I was gonna say Brian
it
fucks
away.
people up that mash because he's a counter hit character.
Yeah, but even if it's like you're not mashing, if you try to sidestep
Oh,
at the wrong time, if you
Hold
try
on.
to press a button to counter at the wrong time,
you're-
if he
saying-
whiffs his orbital heal and then does another orbital heal, he's just fine. He can just orbital heal all day, and he's just fine.
But
Yeah, I
what
know
was
I
saying-
sound like
drag?
some sort of scrubby intermediate player, but it's still stupid. Go ahead.
You're saying like playing against the Brian, it would be like
Exactly.
considered
Get
playing like
good.
a Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where you got one hit into an infinite combo.
I need to get
You
my
just put the
light.
controller down, like, all right, man, do
No,
your
it's not
thing.
that bad.
Wait,
It's
If
just
it's-
that if you're mashing on Brian, he's gonna combo you. If the Brian's competent, because he will counter hit you.
Right. And that's not to say that Brian doesn't have any weaknesses. Like I feel like he's better in 8 than he was in 7 in terms of balance, in just my opinion, and balances in fighting
Maybe.
Oh no,
games.
he's way worse.
Very abstract things.
Way worse. They nerfed hot jet upper hard.
so that
Well,
means
yeah. I mean, they
Probably
scaled it.
better.
They made it to where it's not really worth trying to go for it unless you're.
And
at the wall.
I heard his heat's pretty like unremarkable.
I mean,
It's
he's
mid.
essentially
He just gets the install. Now he has infinite snake eyes.
he's basically
But he still has
Nightmare
a
in SoCal.
crazy
Mistake.
unblockable setup.
damn,
Yeah.
basically. Well, then maybe you need to be a reactive player when you're going against the Brian. Then instead of being the first one engaging, you should
Yeah.
maybe stake it out and see what he does, and then go in it.
Speaking
I
of
mean,
engaging, and I love that
I
you
don't know
said it.
anything
Give me
about
just a second.
Tekken 8. Miguel is not in there, therefore I'm not in
Yep.
there.
Give me just a second before we
Miguel
continue,
is
and thank
a
you for saying
Domestic
engaging.
violence supporter.
I agree with that as well. But just before we continue on, pause
Super
one
secret
second
word of the
because he
day.
said engaging. I just want to say thank you, everyone, especially the people that are engaging in the chat. There are 11 live right now. Please continue to grow the viewership by sharing the stream. If you are watching, it will be nothing for you to take the link that you are seeing at the top, or if you're on your phone, taking the link in the corner where it says share, copy, and put it on your book of faces or
Yeah.
wherever the F that you happen to social media daily. And
Like
that
the
way
videos
the
of
people will
X. All
like
of
the
them.
videos of X. Yes. That way the people know that you are here for a topic where we are finally breaking down bitching for nerfs. Please
We're
continue.
not talking about the videos of Twitter, aka X people. We're talking about the videos of X.
Yeah.
You already know. man.
We don't really mess with
But,
X.
That being continued, moving into that, and
Yeah,
I'm glad
let
that
me
this.
finish what I was saying because
Oh,
Oh,
why
yeah,
does
what'd you guys say?
drag? Like what the fuck?
What did she say? Well, hold on. What
How
tagging?
did
What
they
the fuck?
nerf drag? I don't understand.
Run it back, run it back.
With Dragonov?
Yeah.
You don't understand okay.
That character's crazy.
No.
I mean,
I don't
here's the thing
understand.
that gets me is it's his
Bro.
new string, like his little full crouch down 1-4
Yeah, that shit's
into the
fucked up.
and into his new heat engager that is mid, safe, hits grounded for some reason. That move is so stupid, but it's
Dude,
not.
puts him
I'm not going to
down.
sit here and say that it's
It's
not
really
invincible
good,
because you
though.
can sidestep it to the right. The issue then becomes after he
That's
does
it.
that particular string, all of his other, like at least like maybe half of his other options out of his little crouch stance, then those will still track and then hit you anyway, which is stupid. But
But
No,
it's
but
just
You
a
only need like
hit and
6
I get
moves with
hit by it.
Dragonov, and you
Yeah.
just win.
No,
Damn.
but what
3
she
plus
said.
4, down 2, full
Down
crouch,
back 3
down
plus
1,
4.
But see, what's
Yeah.
The
happening?
full
The
crouch
problem
mix up
here,
is just insane.
but you're missing the point of what she's saying is why can't you just get good and handle it?
Well,
mean,
I
that's
could say
where
that
she's
about
coming-
King then. She was complaining about King. King's less of a problem than Brian to me.
Well, here's
Or
the
not
thing.
Brian,
Well,
Yeah,
here's
he
the-
can
here's-
bounce his
thing.
throws, but they're just
When it-
extremely strong. Like
When it comes to
I'm
fighting,
not saying
games,
he's not. But Dragonov's strong too. That's just what I'm saying
that's
too.
true. But they
Bro,
didn't have to
when it-
nerf him. And
I'm
then
not
they
telling
buffed
her to
him.
get good. I'm just
No, I
I'm
get
just-
what. No, I get
I'm
what you're
going
saying.
off what
Yeah,
Eric's
you-
telling
But
me.
they
You're
buffed
you're
him.
kind of like doing the counterplay. That's what it sounds like. Where it's like why it's like okay they nerfed Dragonov and yet King is still a problem. She has a problem with King. You have a problem with Dragonov. I have a problem with Eddie. I hate the guy.
you know,
I wish he
I
didn't
didn't nerf either
exist.
character really. But
it
yeah,
always
Eddie's-
comes down to
we'll see.
always comes down to play style, and also comes down
Yeah.
to because I mean in
True.
fighting games, half of the battle it comes to trying to outmaneuver your opponent mentally,
right.
being 2
Just-
step ahead of the people. That's why I pick up Tekken 7, and I was able to go against other when I say I'm not gonna say pro players, but
But
I would say
skilled
we
players,
could
yeah.
get skilled players and still win. And
Yeah.
I didn't even know combos or anything like that. I just knew that if I press this shit, something comes out, and I would hit people.
Yeah.
And then I would
And
just play with their heads and taunt them into doing things so that I would hit them with the same thing, and I'm
Yes.
still getting them.
Fighting game
Yeah.
instinct when you don't know the mechanics of the game.
now
I
to
love
weigh in
love
on
that.
that real quick, because when it comes to like the whole aspect of like, oh, this character should be nerfed, this character should be buffed, regardless of what you actually want, the game is going to be whatever it is in general. The game's just going to be the package that it is until there's a patch or whatever. So, if I was to hop online right now and I was to face against a Brian player or a Dragonov or an Eddie or a Alisa or whatever, I'm probably going to groan and roll my eyes like, oh shit, I have to deal with this busted shit again. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick up my controller and try anyway.
Do
Because
it anyway.
at that point, I don't have a choice. If I want to play the game and if I want to win, I've got to figure something out about how to get past this character. And
How
to
to
make
counter,
matters even better, Tekken 8 has all the tools in the shed ready for you to say, okay, this thing is
Download that
beating me.
ghost.
Exactly. Not even just the ghost. Studying your replays and then taking control of your replays and then seeing firsthand what could you have done to like turn this around. Even just before we got on stream, I did that with an Eddie player that I played.
Take control of a replay.
Yes.
Insanity.
You get like 10 seconds, you can take control of a replay. I was playing
Insanity.
against an Eddie player online,
Controversy
and
on this one.
after he knocked me down, and then he was doing his negativa stance, he was like stepping forward, and then he caught me with a low and took all my health. But if I blocked that one low, it could have changed the whole course of the match.
Yeah.
Just like when I was playing those Dragonov players and they were spamming his stupid low mid crouch, stupid heat engager string. Once I figured out, I can sidestep to the right, would have closed the game right there. So those small little nuggets of knowledge could be all you need to actually turn things around. So
it's
don't
knowledge.
discount that.
So
Did you
even
know-
so,
I
no,
Did you
learned
know
about-
that with Eddie, you can't watch replays if Eddie is in your game if you
If
don't
you-
own Eddie.
Well, I
Oh,
got the
that's
premium.
bullshit.
So I don't
That-
have that problem.
now
but-
that
Yeah,
we don't want to
man.
get into unless you have some. We don't want to get into
I'm just
transactions
saying-
and shit like that right now. But
Listen,
no, you're,
I'm pretty positive on Tekken, but that is besides the
that
early
sounds
access
horseshit.
already being bullshit. That's crazy.
that
I
sounds
don't know if they
horseshit.
meant for that to happen, but if they have that with the next DLC character, that's fucked up.
No,
And-
they did.
Mm-mm.
They did. Like that was something that they'd even said in some of the Tekken talks. Like, hey, if you have the premium edition of the game or whatever, then you get access to this character
No.
a few days early.
I know the few days early, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about the
Oh, no, he's
replay
talking-
data.
he's
If
talking
you
about the
can't
replay,
if
yeah.
you can't study the character unless you own him, that's insane.
I
I
mean,
mean, that's
It
their way
makes
to
sense.
incimize you to get it.
I'm
But
not
then again-
saying you're wrong. I'm
again-
just saying that's really
however,
anti-consumer.
I will say this: if you're that serious enough that you want to lab matchups, even if it's a character that you know you're not going to play, but you want to learn how to play against, then you were probably already going to buy him in the first place. To be honest,
I
in
mean,
my
you're
opinion.
right, but that's still very anti-consumer.
I mean, yeah, there's probably other things that may be worse than anti-consumer. We could talk about like
Yeah,
the actual
yeah.
value of like these customization items and extras that you can get in the battle pass, but that's a whole nother can of worms. We ain't got
And
time for
everybody
that.
talked about
So
that.
We
even
talked about
so
it to death.
now, I'm glad that we've gotten into that because now. Oh, what were you gonna say, Oni? Go ahead and finish it out.
No, I was saying the ball and the
I'm
fight
telling
pass.
you.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know what? You know what?
Cool. That's
I'm
my
gonna-
goal.
I'm gonna defend the ball because I just
There's
thought
nothing wrong
about
with
this
the ball.
earlier today.
There's nothing wrong with
Because
the ball. No, the ball's cool.
exactly,
The ball's cool.
you know what you could possibly do? I haven't tested this out yet, but I wonder if it's
Clown
possible.
nose.
Maybe you can make an afro. with the
Know,
ball.
right?
Oh,
Clown
man.
nose.
Give me the fake Tiger Jackson. We'd be
I
good.
can put
You already got
Clown
the
Nose
going
and
out. we'd be
Dragonov and
good.
Azucena, the two most brain dead characters in this game.
Look,
Look, man.
I'm finna fire up Tekken 8 and try to test this out as we speak on the stream. But
You,
we
you
got
were
something to talk
all
about.
more concerned about afros
talk
and stuff like that, and I'm really more concerned with the fact that I still need to see a the special versions of these devils that are always at the end of the game, or the one was in
She'll be
Bloodline
DLC.
Vengeance or
Well,
whatever. Yeah,
She'll be
Um,
DLC. She's gonna be the most broken character ever released. She's gonna make Leroy season 3 look like a pussy.
I'm just tired of the story versions of them, bro. They did it with Kasumi. They've done it with Reina. That like you get these dope ass devil forms, but you can't play with them.
I'll say for me
That's-
Well,
personally,
she also
where
might be
I'm-
the selling point for the next Tekken. Because Kazumi didn't work out, but Reina obviously worked out really well.
Oh, yeah,
like a
'cause
lot of people. she's
Reina's
super
the
popular.
shit. Now, my thing with like those devil forms, I'll be cool with just the aesthetics rather than just like the full boss versions of the characters, which would be nice. I'd love to play that boss Kazi and just spam that stupid Azazel claws coming out the ground move like he did in story mode. But even if I just get the costumes, I'm satisfied, which is
Well,
why I enjoy playing on
If you added
PC.
in as an
I
actual
can already do it.
mode that you can
See-
play as the broken
Yeah.
characters.
Uh,
That'd be nice.
That'd be fun.
as much criticism as this first season pass has gotten,
Yeah.
what I was thinking, Angel Jin is not. I don't think he would be a separate character. They could easily import it as a skin.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, please.
I think
do,
if they're
yeah.
smart, they would make that like one of the premium items in the next battle pass. Like the last unlockable is Angel Jin.
I
Now they
would
might just
pay
make him a
good
skin.
money for that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they might just make him a skin, but I think it would be smarter to make him in the battle pass.
Yeah.
And they
Now-
could do the same thing with Devil Reina. Who knows?
It's
Oh,
you could
that's
put
a
it
scam.
one of two ways. Either they could put him in the Tekken shop, which is what they would most likely do, is put the
Yeah, I think
costumes in the
that's what they
Tekken
most
shop.
likely do.
But if you wanted to incentivize people to buy that battle pass, where you have
Exactly.
that official skins of the True Devil Kazuya and Angel Jin, that's worth the buck. I'm just saying. But
Okay.
until then, I have mods, so I'm good.
So then now we're at the point of the conversation where we have discussed buffs, nerfs. Because no one has said yay or nay. So now I just want to be sure.
Round table.
Boss fights, whatever. To you, Decade, is a nerf needed if it could be, I don't care if it's a fucking Final Fantasy raid. If the boss feels harder for you and your group when you walk in that room and it takes you fucking not just hours, we're talking like, okay, this is one of those things on repeat where y'all just like, we can't do this, it's impossible type of deal. Do you say nerf?
No, not at all. As an RPG player, I've been used to this kind of scenarios,
Mhm.
especially within the Final Fantasy community. We all know there has been boss fights. For example, Final Fantasy 11 had a boss fight that could literally take you like 18 hours. No joke. You have to be in there fighting that damn boss all day, okay? And he would not back out. This dude was strong as hell. And if you missed, you had to like reload the whole thing, come back in
You
there.
want to say if you die, the whole thing all over again, right?
Yes, Final Fantasy 12 had a boss that you could fight him for 72 hours. You can leave the boss. His health would not regen because he had like 52 million health, something like that. You can fight him, back out, save, take a break, come back and keep fighting this dude. Like it's just there was no reason. Why would you nerf him? Like you take the whole thing about it. This is some of these fights are meant for players to go above and beyond and discover things on their own that the
Thank you.
game it's not gonna put your hands and grab it to you and teach it to you. That's how I feel. For example, Armor Core or even Nergigante.
Oh, Nergigante, yes. Monster
That was
Hunter.
that was a huge deal. Nerf him. He's too strong. Meanwhile, I was over here single-handedly killing him and helping other people killing him as well. And when you actually help other people, you notice they become stronger. They hit harder, and they take less damage. They have more HP. Why would they nerf him? They had to nerf him. The community was complaining too much.
Yeah, but are you a gamer?
Exactly. I took my Nergigante, and I felt a little disrespected every time this happened to me. It happened with Elden Ring, and it happened with Armored Core when I killed that guy that looked like a Gundam. What was his name? In Armored Core, they had the dome wrapped around him, shooting missiles.
Fucking.
You know,
I know
it
you're
took me,
talking.
like, you was in the chat when I was fighting him, and
It
took me,
wasn't
like,
even just you, dude. So many content creators, everybody, even fighting Cowboy. It took people hours
the
to
dude was
figure out how to
retarded.
beat him.
The dude was absolutely retarded. Like I can go back now and two shot him. But the nerf was this too strong.
Yeah.
Why,
And then
like after I finally kill him, and I'm like, yeah, I got this dude. I got my bragging rights.
they literally nerfed him
Ooh.
like 3 months, like a month or two after they nerfed him and all the bosses up to the 4th chapter, which is ridiculous to be. But
We had pretty
same
good
scenario.
comment in chat.
What's up? Were they
Said
perfect shooting?
if
Oh, go
you
ahead.
lose to the boss X amount of time, there should be an option to make them easier instead of just nerfing the character, which I agree with. It's like Luigi mode.
No, there are
Yeah, some games do that.
some games.
But you do also have to think about, especially single player games, like, yeah, it could be easy for you, but we're all gamers. You
Right.
know, I don't
So-
think a lot of you are casuals.
So
And
even and
Casuals
that's a
make
good
up
point.
a way bigger market for games than any of us do. It's the
I
same
agree.
thing with
Oh,
like the
no.
pros.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the companies are thinking, and that's why Tekken went through all this huge overhaul of trying to make players have this game accessible to them. Because
Yes.
when I remember, I picked up Tekken in Tekken 7,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw all these people doing all this combo, and I was like, "Joe, can you teach me a combo?" And Joe was like, "Yeah, look, I'm gonna teach you this basic ass shit. It ain't gonna be much, but it did the job, and it didn't look flashy or anything, but it did the job." If you make the game as a community and as a developer, if you don't make it accessible to people, you're losing money.
yeah,
So they're not going to do that. They
Yeah.
definitely going to nerf the character, nerf anybody, whoever, because the community's asking for it. And the community,
Right.
that's where the money comes from.
May
So
I
I get
weigh
it.
in on this issue, my brother?
no.
Last thing, you know what
Okay,
Final
go
Fantasy
for it,
VII
go for it.
Rebirth did? Final Fantasy Rebirth did something really cool. It's they have a difficulty that grows with you. The better player you are, the harder the game gets. And if you're a bad player, then the easier it becomes. Just like that. You don't have to. You can pick easy, normal, or I think it's I don't know. I don't remember the name of the ever changing one, but let's call it wave. You can pick one of the three. That's dope as fuck. I think it is really cool.
Yeah. Now, to weigh in on the issue real quick, so I'll start with my clear-cut answer as far as single player and non-competitive games. When it comes to something needing to be nerfed or buffed, I feel like it should only happen when something is outright just like broken. Like this is completely breaking the rules. Like if I could get a nerf for the AI on Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade, very well deserved because they were doing things that the game shouldn't be able to do. So stuff like that. But again, going back to Metroid Dread, there's another aspect to the game aside from like the boss fights, and the exploration, which is speed running. There were updates that they made to the game that nerfed some tactics and speed running, not because they wanted to restrict player freedom, but because it actually caused like game breaking glitches in the game. So that was more of like a bug fix, but it had this alternate impact on speed running. That I think is totally fair. And then when you go to fighting games, obviously, like, the concept of balance is such a difficult and abstract thing to quantify. It's got to come down more to, I think, you have to have a vision as a developer to know what the risk versus reward factor is in the game and have it make sense. Of course, there's going to be things that developers miss. It happens all the time in every fighting game. There's things that they're changing now. There's things that they haven't changed yet, but they've acknowledged, so on and so forth. That's just the name of the game. But even for characters like, we were talking about this before the show, that characters like Katarina in Tekken 7 is from cut and dry, a beginner character. And that is 100% by design because Bandai Namco knows what they're doing. And this is a legacy fighting game. So there are like scrub strategies that they've left in from like Tekken 1, Tekken 3, Tekken 5, stuff like that have carried on because they know these moves are good specifically for beginners. You'll mash buttons, you'll make some cool stuff happen, you'll feel good about yourself, have your cookie and chocolate milk and go to sleep. But once you hit that threshold where it's like, oh, this tactic isn't working anymore, now how do you get your players to go, instead of, this game sucks, I don't want to play this anymore, this game's busted, how do you get them to be like, okay, this isn't working anymore, now I actually have to learn something that, they have to adapt to the situation. And I think Tekken 8's doing a really good job of that right now.
Tekken 8 did a really good about that.
See, I'm glad that you say they're doing a great job because the rest of the community thinks they're doing ass for whatever stupid reason. I'm not
hear
them.
the negativity on Twitter.
Yeah, all you hear is
Of
the
course,
negativity, and I am not one of them at all. I am, like I said, and this is my take on it.
Yeah, go for
as
it.
far as nerfs and buffs, I am not with nerfs or buffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I come from a time frame before you got. Hear me out. I come from a time frame. I come from a place where you didn't get the option. You, like, if you walk into that game, or a fighting game, boss, whatever it was, whatever challenge is in front of you, your responsibility.
Can we all
Yeah,
talk
but
get
about that
better
the
and
Sean
point
whatever
nerf?
now
with
is that you can
I'm
fix
not.
those things.
I'm not. Well, so
Can
here's
we
the
talk
thing.
about
If
those
it's
Sean nerfs that happened
wait a
in Third
minute, wait a
Strike?
minute,
Just
wait a
saying.
minute. It's so wait, Sean nerfs that happened in Third Strike.
All right, so here you go. You have Street Fighter 3, right? There was like multiple different versions
No,
of
I
the
know
game.
of the nerf. I
Yeah.
understand what the nerf is, but I'm
Well,
saying that
well,
was
I'm saying
one
that-
nerf and
Yeah,
one
because they
bug.
couldn't update anymore.
Yeah, that they
you
couldn't
can't.
update
You couldn't just
beyond
update back.
that.
It
But
was
that's what
Uh,
I'm.
You had
That
to
was-
release a
I'm
new
they
talking
game.
didn't
about
put
going-
these things in to just like be difficult on purpose. It's just how the game was.
It's just
because
how
they
the
didn't
game was.
have good
But that's
QAs.
gonna okay, exactly. But see, that's the thing. That's going to happen with any video game, as Joe was saying.
And now you can fix
when
it.
you well, wait a minute. When you make a game, even a fighting game, whatever game it is, you have to understand it's the player's responsibility to go in and literally break
Yeah.
this game down to a point to where you find the advantages, whatever they are, if they look broken or ridiculous or whatever, to use against your opponent, be it a computer boss, human, whatever. It is the player's responsibility to go in here and be like, okay, well, this is plus this, so I can use this instead of using that. The devs probably didn't mean to do that, but fuck it.
So
I'm
what
gonna
about,
use
what
it.
about bugs
And
though?
wait a
Yeah,
minute, we're not at
bugs is
bugs. I'm
definitely
saying
it.
buffs and nerfs.
Yeah, you're talking
Balance.
about
Not but bugs is so when it
Yeah.
comes to bugs, we can all agree if it's
Bro.
a bug, like an actual bug. I'm not talking here. I want to be clear.
The rage art thing is
Um,
a bug, just by the way.
Okay,
Yes.
so okay, fine.
Victor's
Rage art being a
grabs
bug.
were bugs that needed to be fixed.
So
but continue.
no,
I
hear
actually
me
think
out.
they were
So
testing something with that.
I'm
but-
what I'm saying is anything to the degree of like for example, Yoshimitsu does his flying move up 1-2, right?
Yeah.
Then you hit forward 4 and he does a mid kick. Even if you duck, it'll still kick you in the head, meaning that if you're low, it doesn't matter, it'll still kick you. It still hits even
With
when
the
you duck.
mid.
With the
Yeah.
mid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mids are
with the
supposed
mid.
to hit duck.
That's what
ducking.
they do.
Okay, right. Well, I see mids are supposed to hit ducks. Granted, but remember what you said. Not every player is a pro. Most people are or a gamer. A lot of people are casuals. To the casual, if you're low, oh, what the fuck? I was ducking, bro. How did that hit me? You hear shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
People will go to Twitter and say that needs to be nerfed.
talk that shit.
That
Yeah, but that's
this
different.
is but no,
That's
so
completely different.
to you, yes, to you,
No, but
yes.
that's facts.
No,
though.
because
But
that's a Tekken rule.
That I understand it's
Their
again,
visuals suck sometimes. I agree with
again,
that, but that's
you're
not,
not wrong.
what people are talking about with buffs
You're
and nerfs
not,
like that.
no, well, so whoa. People have said,
So
but
can we-
not a lot of people, and these people that are saying it are not you or gamers, if that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about. This is the point that I'm trying to make. For me,
Yeah.
I didn't learn about that until last night. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that if I learned something just then and something like that happened to me, whether I'm ducking or whatever, or when I was playing Fighting Dreamers with everyone else just last weekend, we have a friend named Big E who always kept getting grabbed or countered by my Leroy, right? And he hated the shit. Why is it you just keep grabbing? How is it that you keep getting, bro? It's not that I'm doing this, there's no bug or special thing like that. If I'm spamming something and it's working,
Up to you
whose
to find a
fault
way
is
around
that?
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Right. Well,
People
there's
cry-
another aspect to that too. Without
Go ahead. No,
Yeah.
go ahead. What's yours?
well, real
I'll-
quick, I just
Go ahead.
okay,
Go ahead.
real quick. I'll say this because there's different aspects to this. There's the perspective of the casual player. There's the perspective of the veteran players, and then there's the perspective of the developers. From the casual standpoint, whenever they're losing, everything seems broken.
Yes.
You don't have to listen to them. Now, you listen to a certain extent because obviously the casual market is where the money's at. So go into the competitive aspect of things. If things were like they were in, like, say, Tekken 6 or Tekken 4, where the game is so busted and broken, or even I could talk about Super Smash Brothers Melee, where the things are so broken by the
About to talk about Melee.
by the time you get to the finals of like almost any tournament, it's out of the same handful of characters that you could expect to see in grand finals. You'll see your Fox, you'll see your Sheik, you'll see your Bob or your whoever in Tekken 6, you'll see your Jin or your Steves in Tekken 4, and it's going to get to the point where it's so boring, it's like, why even point to, tune into a tournament in the first place. Especially considering when sometimes tournaments are a good way to bring in some A, revenue, and B, some notoriety to the game. But that's the casual aspect. So that's a very abstract thing, but for the most part, you can almost disregard that because it's coming from a position of ignorance. Veteran players, they have more sense to back up their arguments, but even they're subject to their own biases as well. Clearly, so am I.
Yeah.
I pretty much hate every character that I don't use, and there's 32 characters in the game. Now, from the developer standpoint, it's their responsibility to understand and have the judgment to know where it's coming from, how to balance your game so that it's fun for casuals, so they can press buttons and make cool shit happen, but make things fair enough that veteran players don't have to be completely washed by it, and that they have some sort of way to slip in
and that it's balanced competitively.
Absolutely,
if something gets busted and changes the balance of the game, I'm down for fixing it.
Yeah.
I'm completely down for fixing it. I don't really like nerfs and buff or anything like that. But for example, like Joe said, melee, which I was going to go into, melee, and when whoever discovered the wave dash, it changed the whole game for all the pro players. If you weren't not wave dashing, you couldn't compete. Period.
Oh God.
That was it. That was it. And that was like, okay, but my favorite character is so and so. It doesn't matter. This is the best characters. If you don't pick them, you screw.
Yep.
And you obviously you want to win, so now you're going to do things outside of your comfort and try to learn it because you're more competitive than a casual.
Yeah.
So if you got things like that, like the wave dash in melee that you forcibly got to do it to compete, I'm up for removing that shit. Like no, take that shit away. I'm okay. Yeah, cool. They discover it. It's in the game. Whatever. Nah, fix it. It's busted. That's what it is. It's busted.
Now I do think there's one more point I got to acknowledge too. And this goes out to some of the pros out there that are calling for certain things to be nerfed or complain about this.
I got something
that
to
say,
that.
We got Arslan Ash. This goes for both players that I like and those that I don't care for. So, especially for me, as a dedicated Kazuya main, it's no secret. We out here struggling. We're dedicated, but we out here struggling. Now, for a guy like the main man, love him to death, love the content that he's put out the years. He's helped make me the Kazuya player I'm today. But kindly shut up. Sometimes you got to shut up, because remember when Kazuya actually got his Hell Sweep buffed in Tekken 7 to the point where it tracked to his weak side, and everybody's like, oh, he's got a homing Hell Sweep. Kazuya's broken now. His 50-50 so brain dead. And it's like, okay, but all they're really doing is just leveling the playing field with other characters that have Hell Sweeps that already track.
Yeah.
And everybody complained about it, and guess what? They nerfed it. This is why we can't have nice things. Remember his glorious Twitter string, his down 4-3 plus 4-2-1, that string that I love so much? Before before the beta, it was
crazy.
It was crazy. It did like I think 70 damage or something, or 70%.
Itself.
Yes, by itself. It was a natural combo and it was hit confirmable. My perspective has always been, because it was such a valuable tool in the neutral, and Kazuya kind of struggles with that anyways, unless you're a beast, keep it, but just tone down the damage to a place that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Granted, you can agree, you can disagree, but then they nerfed it into the ground. Only the first 2 hits are natural, and then after the 4th hit, then after that it's natural. But in the neutral, unless you're fighting a complete dummy, it's basically useless. And even before it was nerfed, it was launch punishable anyway. So how much did it really need to be nerfed in the first place? But I blame a lot of these players out here downplaying Kazuya, talking about, oh God, K-Wiss, nigga, you over here talking, man, Kazuya needs to be nerfed, bro. He's so annoying. You play Hwoarang. You are the scrub killer.
Yeah, no, Hwoarang players can't complain about anything.
Exactly. Y'all need to shut up.
I'm the biggest Hwoarang hater that exists. I hate that character so much.
The other thing that goes with that prayer emoji, because it didn't hit me until just now, the example that I had about players that don't know what they're talking about, but cry for nerfs or buffs anyway. The Yoshimitsu example I was telling you about was also one from Afro Senju when he got hit by it online.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. Who's that? You wouldn't know. That's fine. However, social media and like you said, the casual public.
I see you, I Am Fury.
Know who the fuck that is. And he goes to Bandai Namco all the time with like these whole like, I'm Afro Senju, blah, blah, blah. Play this game, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. That's who he is. He's the ambassador of that. And he complained and said that it needed to be nerfed. And his entire something 3,000 people in his Twitch stream are like, oh yeah, that's bad that somebody can hit you when you're low and it's a mid. Like again, I'm not saying I know where you're coming from. It's a universal Tekken rule.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying is there are people that cry wolf that don't know better.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and like Joe said, that's up to the devs to.
I agree, bro. But when you got now think about it this way: when you have all the people crying wolf that don't know better, combined with the pros that are saying this game is bad, this game is it's so easy for the casual play, which I don't necessarily disagree, but it's so easy for the casual player to be good at Tekken 8. They were nowhere near as good in Tekken 7. That's things like Arslan Ash and
that's still not entirely true.
That's what Arslan Ash said. That's what Arslan Ash said. I don't disagree with y'all, but that's what he said.
Arslan has a problem. He doesn't know what to complain about.
To me, he's no different. To me, he's no different than Punk from Street Fighter. If you lose, complain about it. That's how I see him.
Punk is still making top 8.
Beyond that, even if you're right, that is what's happening. The source of negativity around nerfs and buffs and people saying this game is broke or it has bugs or whatever comes from a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to. What's up?
We got a gut tie, bro.
It's time to combine.
It's time to hand chin and combine into space.
Yeah. Now look, I'm sorry. I gotta hit the buzzer on Arslan Ash right now, and on Main Man too. Even though I love him. So the key thing here is, to you pro players out there complaining about these scrub to all these pro players complaining about all these scrub tactics and it's easier for casuals to get in. Some of these changes are not made for you. They're made for the people that haven't gotten to the level you're at. People like you, people like us, we're going to buy the game regardless. Yeah. We need to let the new players come in so we can bring some money into these games that are 10 times more expensive than they were in the 90s so that we can keep these series going.
We got to support the series. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Main Man, when you're out there talking, oh, I don't want Kazuya to be nerfed and I need him to be brain dead and he's taking away his identity by giving him options. Shut up. Let me have nice things, bro.
We ain't even hit the trash yet, and that's what he means by good tie. Yeah. So what we're going to do before we get to trash, before we even get there, final thoughts on this topic.
Wait, Fury makes a good point. Fury makes a very good point. Arslan complains for Twitter interactions. That's actually a super solid point because Twitter, ever since Elon took over, you get so many more interactions if you say some crazy shit, which is also just true of social media. But
which is just so ironic considering he's running the place.
And also, if you like something, you're probably not going to talk about it because you're probably just playing it.
Yeah.
But even so, in doing this, that still doesn't help Tekken. That helps him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that might be why he's
I understand, and don't get me wrong. I'm all for any promo or publicity, good or bad, is still publicity.
Right.
I completely understand that. But fighting games have it harder than a lot of other genres, okay?
Very much
if you fuck up on a fighting game, especially on your launch window, most people are prone to not come back. Okay,
and we got some trash to throw in today.
Boy, I'm telling. So yeah, like if you fuck up, like Mortal Kombat, it's hard. That's an uphill climb right now. MK1's got to climb. They got some trouble. Okay,
you better pump the brakes on that. We got
final thoughts on this topic. And then we are going to Gatai, and I'll explain what that means in a second.
Yeah. Who's going first? Call him out.
Does anybody have any final thoughts on nerfs, buffs, bugs to games before we move on?
Dragunov. And Alducina.
Yes. I totally second that.
Don't nerf AOP. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
All right. Nerf shall use damage.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Just don't nerf AOP. It's been in the game since forever. Why are you guys now just complaining about it?
He's saying AOP, which just so everyone understands, AOP means Art of the Phoenix. I don't want to just say AOP and nobody gets
Raven. Why? Raven don't need buffs.
No, he's good.
Don't need buffs.
No,
he's
good. Who said that?
I don't really think anyone needs buffs in this game. I think most of the characters are really good and well balanced. There's just 5 to 10 of them that are too good.
Okay,
that
what
need
about
to
this
tone down
though?
a little bit.
What about this though? These are part of my final thoughts. But what about
do you mean, no?
Kazuya's? What about Kazuya's two new things that they felt the need to showcase in his reveal trailer? His new Hell Sweep extension, his Crouch Dash 4-4, useless. His 1-2-2 cancel into 3, useless. Give it
That's what I
some
heard.
good properties or something. Make it good. Like get some good
Does that break
frames
the
on
wall,
that.
though?
Hey, we'll see in May. But I want to know why she
I
said
mean,
no.
yeah, but
Yeah, well,
any other time besides that, it doesn't really.
She
do
said
much
no
better.
to
but that's like
nerfing the
everything
top 10
else. That's
characters.
like a lot of tools. It's like it's going to be good and it's going to be bad. It's going to have good situations. It's going to have bad situations.
Listen,
Yeah.
man,
If they can break
all
the
I gotta
wall,
say-
you got somebody in the 50-50, break the wall. You get a full combo.
All right,
my
let's put
final
aside
thoughts-
the. Okay, go ahead.
Tekken is wild already.
They're simple, man. I got 2 things.
Go for
And
it.
an
Bro.
example and an example of those two things. Get good.
Amen.
Why am I
Hallelujah.
saying this? Why am I
Period.
saying this?
Yes.
I don't know if y'all ever dedicated a little bit of time to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I
Ooh,
go back and I
ooh,
go back
don't
to
bring it
Marvel
there.
Want to.
Don't bring it there.
I go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Why?
That game's
Because
broken.
for the longest time, my
Yes.
boy, my favorite hero, Spider-Man, was a lone
Ooh.
hero
Mm.
that nobody wanted to deal with it until this one guy named Mama Spider came in and flipped this character. No buff.
I mean, but that's the same
No
thing that
anything.
Spencer did too. I mean, not Spencer, but what's his name? Combo Fiend. He made Spencer a top tier character.
They
Nobody
made him
cared about.
yes. Nobody cared. Single-handedly.
Nobody cared about Spencer. And then what happened? Combo Fiend comes in, starts bodying everybody.
Everybody.
Like that Marvel is one of those games that you can't really say, oh, this character's bad.
Nobody-
The only character you can say is bad is Heisenko.
Another
That's it.
person that did that, Mana with Birdie. Nobody cared about Birdie. either.
Yeah.
But Birdie
Street
was
Fighter
already
5.
good. Nobody, he was good though.
But they didn't. But nobody knew that
But
it
he
was
was-
somebody.
yeah,
Someone
but-
had
but-
to demonstrate it. That's the
Well, that's
point.
different. That's a good character that just nobody used.
Right.
It's not making a bad
Okay,
character.
so
good.
if we're talking
Yeah,
about a bad
Hansa-
character, you
That's
can
not
say
also in Melee.
you
Melee.
can say
player-
Blanca.
This is
you
why
can say-
Fang is avoiding a shit ton of nerfs that he
Yeah,
probably
nobody
needs
uses him.
because nobody
But-
uses them.
But the thing is,
Like-
pro players would know about that. So
Yeah, but they
pro
still don't use
player
them.
would. Yeah, so see, that's a bad thing until somebody comes in and flip that motherfucker around real quick. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Get good. And
I just-
that's
I-
it.
I'm
I mean-
all about it. Yeah, just get good. That's where I'm at. I don't even need the extra stuff to go with it, bro. At the end of the day, I feel like if there is any challenge that is in front of you, if I really want, and make sure keyword here, if I want, before Joe pulls out some fucking button, if I want to beat something and get good at it, not even just people in general, you will learn how
Yeah.
to beat it.
Yes.
If it is
Bro.
something that is unbeatable to you, and this can mean player, this can mean character. My Demon Dom in Street Fighter only beating the shit out of me in Street Fighter 6 last night. I haven't played it in a year, and it didn't matter because he came in there and he showed me what he could do with the time that he had in training. And that doesn't make him or me any worse of players or him the most amazing player on the planet. It means
He's the
I
most amazing
have
player
work.
on the planet.
Well, it just means that I have work to do. It
Yes.
means that I need to get
Exactly what
good,
that
and
means.
that
That's
is
exactly what that means.
yeah, and that
Like
is
you
my
said, like you said, you need the passion to do
yeah.
it.
You need the
If don't
passion. You
the
have to
passion-
want to do
Because
it.
here's the thing, bro. Final Fantasy VII, platinum that game, Final Fantasy VII remake on hard. That shit was challenging,
Yeah.
especially when you're fighting with boss back to back, like 6 bosses back to back. That shit was insane.
Yeah.
I had to keep trying and get good at that motherfucker. But even worse, try platinuming, and Joe probably knows a little bit about this. Try platinuming Batman Arkham Knight. Go ahead. Tell me how long that shit took. Go ahead. Try platinum Batman Arkham Knight, or even Devil May Cry 5. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Let's see how
It
that
took a
goes.
while.
Honestly,
That's
I
just
don't-
still on like 0.0 anything percent of players that done it.
'Cause you gotta be a
That's
hard motherfucker to do
challenge.
that.
You gotta be a hardcore
Welcome to
player,
the game too.
and you gotta be you gotta be passionate about
Only
this.
real ones know that one.
Bro.
That being
Insanity.
said,
Yeah.
that being
It's
said,
time.
6 different borders come together, all combined to make one form of giant power that is trash. That might not have been the best way to introduce it, but we
Yeah.
were going to throw everything into the Greek fire
Blue
for
flames.
it to never return. The blue flames. This is the segment of the show where if there is something, including yourself in the chat, that you do not like in nerd culture, be it gaming, anime, whatever it may be,
Yeah, you
even
don't even have to be in their culture. Could be your neighbor.
could be your name, Dinkelberg,
Nickelberg.
whomever it is, you are now able to throw it in the trash where it shall never return, unless for some reason something good happens and you want to bring it back. We usually like to throw it over to our guest first. I know Joe was going to blow the whole spot up with his, so we're going to get.
Please, I'll wait
We're
my
gonna
turn. That's
give
cool.
him. We'll wait for his turn. Prayer hands emoji. If there's anything, even anyone here, anything you don't like, all
think
good,
one of
fair
us-
game. I'm for real.
One of us
I've,
should
I've
give
thrown
him-
Greg
I
in
don't
the
like
trash
your
while he was
opinions
here.
on
I think one
buffs
of
and nerfs.
Okay. You want to throw this in the trash? You want to throw me in
Yeah.
the trash? Fine.
No, I
What's
just
up?
want to throw that opinion, not you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Buffs and nerfs. The opinion about my opinion or opinions of buffs and nerfs.
No, yours.
Okay. My opinion.
An
of buffs
old
and
head
nerfs.
take.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it.
The
Now, if I
whole
could've-
idea, the whole idea of buffs and nerds going to the trash. Is that what it is?
No, my
it's
idea
it's
of
his
buffs and nerds.
opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, specifically Mason's opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, man.
This is good.
What's
your
Fury
opinion.
got? I want to hear what Fury's got.
I got
Fury's
something. What is
You
it?
gotta type it fast. Okay, so we'll go on to the next person while he pulls his in, then we'll discuss his. Oni.
Eddie Gordo.
Just to,
I just hate that character.
Tekken 8 Eddie Gordo or just
That's
Eddie
fair.
Gordo?
Every iteration of Eddie Gordo, Christy Montiero,
Damn.
Tiger Jackson, every single iteration of
God
Eddie
damn.
in general, Capoeira, Eddie Gordo, Tekken series, throw him away. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I just hate him.
he
No,
got
I
some
really
crazy
hate
shit in T8.
I don't even care about his crazy shit. I don't care. I hate the character since T7. I've hate the character since Tekken Tag. I've hate the character since 6, 5, 4, 3, Tekken Tag 2.
Why don't you just start with the
Evolution.
first game?
You see prayer hands emoji
Yeah,
while
he
you
was-
while you threw my opinion in the trash. It's people like Oni that I have to say what I say. I just want you to understand that. There it is.
I
just
mean,
want you-
Eddie's,
just want
I
you
just don't like the
listen,
guy.
dude,
I don't like him.
Eddie,
Yeah, I
Eddie
just
and
don't like him,
King
man.
are two characters that no matter the skill level, people are going to complain about them. And
Yeah.
it's really funny because those two and Horang are super scrub killers. So I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that when you download Eddie, you start in beginner unranked. So you
Yeah.
literally have to go terrorize people that bought Tekken yesterday
Yeah.
with
Oh,
a character
man.
that they already hate.
Now, Oni-san, understand. I
Bro,
understand
Dragon
where you're
the
coming
Fire,
from.
Yeah, see?
Here's
Fury
the thing.
knows.
Here's the thing. To
Look,
Eddie is to Oni what Lily is to me. Even if he's not the worst
Alright.
to deal with, on principle, you do not like Eddie Gordo. Just for
Right,
who Eddie
like,
Gordo
just,
is.
Just
If
like
I fight you in
Prairie
tournament, I'm gonna relearn Lily just to fight you in
just,
bracket.
just like Prairie Hands does not
Please
like
do.
him
Thank
wrong.
I'm so
Get the
fucking
character
happy you
wrong.
said that. I'm so fucking happy he said that. Finally, Juan, we've been waiting for
What?
this for a while. When someone disagrees with somebody with something, yo, let me just see you in tournament and we can just
Yeah.
handle it that way. That's the kind of shit I've been
Throw
waiting
Dragon
to
the
hear.
No,
Fire.
I'm saying I want
Oh
to play
my
him with Lily
God.
because if Lily tilts him and he hates
Oh
Lily,
my
then I want to
God.
fight him
No,
with
I
Lily.
need this
It makes
You need
It
to
gets
get
his
good
head.
against Eddie. Look, man, I can get good against Eddie. I will still hate the character. I
You
will
would just
beat
rather
his
not
ass
deal
to
with
a pulp, and I will still hate him. Just saying. All right.
No, it's like if Lei Wulong was in Tekken 8, whether he's in the game or not, I'm still gonna hate him.
Hey,
I'm
the
glad
guys,
he's,
what
I'm
did you
glad
say?
he's taking a
You're
break.
right.
I
You know
said,
what?
what if
This,
Eddie ever
this,
won?
the first
Hold on,
2
hold on.
months
What
without
did
Eddie
Eddie
were
get?
great. Just saying. The first 2 months of T8 without Eddie were great.
Beautiful.
I do kind of
Look.
want to know, what did Eddie do to you?
You see what I'm
I'm
saying?
with Jay. What did Eddie do to you?
What does Eddie need? Does Eddie need nerfs and buffs?
I
Oni?
don't even. He doesn't even need Nerfs and
We
Busts.
don't know
He needs to
yet.
be gone. He needs to be in the trash. He needs to be gone forever.
End of the segment. There we go.
I
See,
love
I
that.
don't like the character,
I
bro.
love that he's proving my point. I just want to make sure we can throw my
No,
point in the
no.
trash.
Like I said,
But I
I
want-
will get good against the character and still hate him. I got good against her wrong, and I still don't care about him. It doesn't matter. He
That's
can
fair.
be, as long as he is existing, he can leave.
This is a
Okay.
principled and emotional reaction, and
Okay.
that's totally valid. If
This
you're
is really
realistic
how I feel
about your
about Mario.
your
That's so
reasonings
funny.
against the character, that's cool.
Yeah. He said,
Now, I believe our
your
guest here,
yes?
Jay the Goddess, had a take. Or what would you like to throw in the trash, ma'am?
Throwing Oni and motherfucking prayer hands in the fucking garbage. But
Why?
Bet. All right, I'll go there.
But tell me why.
All right, yeah, let her explain.
I'll go there.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. He said, "Tell me why."
Just because. Because
Because
y'all
why?
hating. He said throw drag in the trash, so you gotta go in the trash.
Hey, that's what
And
Fury
then
said, and
Oni,
I agreed with him.
He said,
Hey, you
"Just
know what?
because."
They don't care about drag, so
I don't give a fuck who said it. Y'all all going in the trash then.
Are you a drag player?
Yes.
She is.
Partly-
She is
Oh.
now.
I
She's
am a
She is
partly-
now.
Right, you gonna say
That's
she's
smart.
mostly Reina, but yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, I
is
guess you
smart.
didn't like that. You didn't like that beatdown, then. I'm just saying.
See, look, that's okay. Look,
Nigga,
here you go.
please, because I've been labbing just for your ass too.
All right.
Ooh. That's
Look
what
at
I'm
this.
talking
Look,
about.
hey Jay, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Oh,
My
shit.
hands work now.
Oh,
Okay, great.
The-
What
the
you gonna do with
surgeon.
it?
Hold on, they didn't before.
I messed up my
Yeah,
wrist.
clearly they did it because he was struggling with fucking Eddie, but he needed.
Shit.
I'm struggling with Eddie.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You see, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we like to call fighting words.
Boy,
Yeah.
I see you. I see you in Nuketown. Oh, hold on, wrong game.
You
Shit.
can catch these hands.
Listen.
I said
Did
I'm
you
not
say
struggling with
Nuketown?
Eddie. I just hate the character. There's a difference.
All right, so we got prayer hands, we got Jay the Goddess, we got Oni. Mace, we got yours technically, right?
No, you haven't got mine at all. I
Oh,
promise you,
hit 'em.
mine is gonna be mine is.
All right, we want to build up to it, or you want to unleash the cannon now?
I'll smack it right now. I ain't worried about it.
Let it rip.
Punk the God, Pink the God, whatever version of your stupid name that you happen to have. And I actually respect you in fighting games a lot. I really do. But you get upset that people talk about you in a way that makes you feel like you are not respected as the GOAT in fighting games. You don't like it that you're not compared to Mena, who beats you all the time. You don't like it that people don't look to you as someone higher than Tokido. You say things
I
and
don't
it
even
triggers.
know who this is, but I
Look,
know the
bro.
other characters that you just mentioned. The other people.
He has said things that have triggered a lot of casual people in a good way that now everyone in a bad way that now everyone doesn't want to play Street Fighter as much or fighting games as much as what they used to. He made a comment on Twitter that said he thinks fighting games are not as hard as they used to be, taking away the essence of what made it so that casual players who have no business being as good as they are now, being
Geek.
able to catch up to pros and compete with pros.
Yeah,
Now,
gatekeeping.
while there is
funny.
some truth to that because devs have made the games easier
Accessible.
for players, and
Yeah.
accessible. While they
Accessible.
have done this, the issue is that, and I'm also gonna throw what's his name in the trash too while we're at it. From Tekken, Arslan
Arslan.
Ash.
Please do.
I'm very vexed with this because we have said for years in the fighting game community or just in fighting games in general that even the pro players, Justin Wong, everyone, we want more casual players and new people to come into the scene. So now the devs are giving you exactly what you want so that
Yeah.
you pro players can get more competition because more
And more money.
competition, thank you, more competition means more money, more
More money.
opportunities for you to get paid. And you're sitting here saying that you hate the fact that casual players are catching up with you and getting better at the game now.
Mhm.
You hate that we're getting tournaments that
Sound
are
like it
offering
to me.
that are tournaments that are offering millions of dollars for prize pools now. Tekken has $1 million prize pool with Gamers 8.
Does it?
Street Fighter,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Gamers 8's doing it again.
That's
Street Fighter has
That's
Gamers
not-
8 later in the year, and then Capcom Cup next year for $1 million. Fighting games are in a great place, but every time something good starts to happen, some of you pros, at least the ones that feel they're at the very top, need to disrespect everything the devs are working hard to do to give us exactly what we've been asking for. We literally, thanks to Tekken 8, we had the biggest in Indiana local that we've ever had 2 months
Great
ago.
time.
It was incredible. A whole bunch of new people that they just want to play the game because they saw the trailer. They weren't worried about prayer hands emoji, Oni, Joe. That wasn't a big deal of who was there. They just wanted to play offline.
And not only just that, my brother, But while we were there, we got to see some great Tekken matches, and I was introduced to some delicious blend of
Oh,
Mexican
don't do
and
that.
Korean cuisine with taco soul.
Also, though, there isn't enough of a shout out to the Tekken community
Hell
because
yeah.
there's so many people that play other fighting games, and even Smash included,
Mhm.
that they were hopping on Tekken 8 because the community is so good. Because
Yeah.
it is, and it does
Yeah.
have the best commentary. So
Jay
that's
the
also
Goddess-
part of it.
Agreed. Oh, thank you. Well, agreed.
I mean,
but
we
then
are
Jay the
here.
Goddess
Oh.
literally.
My other point was Jam has an entire video about what you're talking about with Arslan and Punk.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope he's mirroring the
and
same thing I'm saying with the stupidity, because
Well, it's not that. It's that, of course, the people that were like amazing at the previous game are going to complain about the new one because they were good at the last meta, and the game's changed.
and the game changed.
So
Exactly.
yeah, they're going to complain because
Exactly. But
They
that's
haven't
but
optimized
see,
it
that's
anymore.
my point. So now we're talking about the thing that we've been talking about this whole show. The meta changed. Time to bitch about it or get good.
Good.
That's my whole point. To finish it out, the other thing that happened with the comment that we were making about how everyone was coming, everyone was showing up for boss battles or whatever like that. The other thing that made me really happy is even with what Jay the Goddess was saying not too long ago, which I do agree there is some truth to Tekken 7 players being great at Tekken 8 when they were nowhere near good Tekken. Jay the Goddess did not like Tekken like that 2 or 3 years ago. She's been playing so often now. And this is not me just trying to talk somebody up. This is literally because of like the efforts of Oni and other pro players that stopped by Fighting Dreamers. These casual players learn from you. Some of them pay attention, and she did. And it's because of that, now she wants to learn frames. Now she wants to play. She wants to come to offline meetups, go to tournaments. These are great things that are happening because of the way the game is built.
Yes.
So I not only throw Punk and Arslan Ash in the deepest pits of trash, I hope that thing encases itself in Greek fire, burns down to the underworld, and then even goes even further below. I hope that shit falls out of the earth and then just travels through space forever until it just goes into a black hole, goes into another universe, and then burns in their trash and does it again. You have literally, not to steal this, I'm gonna steal this from WB. You have literally failed your city and this community with your comments. Very stupid. That's my trash.
Still can't fail harder than WB themselves, which, speaking of
Anyway,
which,
no
is it
boy.
my turn?
It's your turn.
Wait, I thought you already went.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Should Juan go first?
Yeah, probably Juan should go
Yeah,
first, and then
Juan,
Joe should
go
yeah,
ahead,
Juan
bro,
should get
because
one.
we got some shit to talk about. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, I don't have anything as passionate today as or elaborated. I had to come up on this on the spot, but I do have some things that I've been thrown in the trash.
Get him.
For one, I think we match a little bit on WB. It has to stop. It has to stop. Live service games, when they're not done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you come in and take a studio that had a successful series like this, and then you trying to make him into a cow to keep milking money, and deliberately mess up the whole thing, and give us some stupid. First of all, give us heroes that we want to see. I don't
Yeah.
know about y'all, but who the fuck cares?
I've never cared about Suicide
that
Squad.
Damn Suicide
Never
Squad.
cared about Suicide Squad. Not
Who
once.
cares about
Not
the
once.
Suicide Squad? Okay? Who
I don't care about
cares?
her.
Look, who cares
The rest
about
of Suicide Squad I don't care about.
the female Silver Surfer? Who
Yeah,
here can
but don't get me started.
Who here gets-
Oh man.
Who here cares about? Oh, it's comic accurate.
Wait,
So-
wait. Time out. Hey, female Silver Surfer. You know she's gonna be like in a skin tight silver suit, right?
We don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
I
We
can't
Oh,
mind.
okay.
We know
I think
what
that's
the
not
hub
fair.
is.
Listen, we're not worried
We're-
about.
our
We're not
needs are
worried
met.
about sexy.
We're
We,
good.
Yeah, what if it was Scarlett Johansson?
I don't give a shit.
I don't care. I don't
She
care.
can't be in the
want-
series. She's dead
I
already.
want
Yes, you
I
do.
want our
Oh.
beloved characters to have their opportunity to shine, not to be switched to change or anything like that. Listen, I know some people gonna hate me for this. It's gonna be controversial than a motherfucker.
Then a motherfucker.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
care that Siri or whatever her name was in Black Panther was accurate to being the Black Panther herself. Okay, cool, she was.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't care because that movie did not sell nowhere near.
Because it doesn't. We don't care that it's comic accurate. We want to see our beloved heroes. My man should have been recasted into somebody that would remain and maintain and honor his work. My point is, give us the characters that we like. Stop changing these people and to give us some other lesser version of themselves that just because they've been in the comics, you think they'll make a great rendition on the big screen. It doesn't matter. I just want to see the people I like, the people I grew up with.
True.
What about Miles Morales? He's cool.
Yeah, but he is real. It's like a real
He
character.
he is cool, but see, my thing about Miguel Morales is everybody wants to
Miguel.
switch Peter for
Miguel
him.
Morales.
Okay, yeah, he's Puerto Rican, so I get to call him Miguel.
Yeah.
All right. So and yes, when I'm calling his black side out, I say Miles, but because I'm Dominican, I call him Miguel. Okay, so this Miguel Morales character that you guys like so much, the broken ass Spider-Man, if you will. Come on, man. There's no reason to try and keep continuing to replace Peter with this man. Give him his own opportunity.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I
Give
agree
him
with
his
that.
own. You know what I mean? He needs to shine on his own. Give us Static Shock. We don't need. But there's so many great
Ooh.
black heroes out there that don't need to be a
Exactly.
shadow to anybody else.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in, or they don't need to. You don't need to pass the baton to Miles. This dude is already great and stronger than Peter. He got the Venom touch, and now he got a sword.
He does have a
Retarded.
sword. He
That's
does
how I
have a
call it,
sword.
retarded. Meanwhile, Peter got to give the hands
right.
to everybody. You know how
He-
Peter got to keep giving the hands to everybody. This dude touches him in the neck, sap him out. You're done, dead, goodbye. And then he had the nerve on the last comic to talk shit to Peter when Peter was trying to save the world and he was gone for 6 months. And Miles was like, Peter, you was gone. Where were you when I needed you? Nigga, you be a hero. That's what you do. Nobody was there for Peter when he was growing up. And stop making this rendition for Peter that you need the bigger man. Peter don't need no goddamn mentor. He had nobody when he was being Spider-Man in the original comics.
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
Okay,
Ben
Oh,
died.
gosh.
Uncle
He
Ben
did.
died, exactly. And he had no mentor past that point to be a superhero. Man, 616 Peter, the original from the 60s, this man was
Oh,
asked by the
shit.
Avengers 30 million times, my man, do you want to join us? Peter was like, bro, come on. Nah, stop.
Right.
Telling me
Peter
this-
kept pushing that shit away, bro.
Kid? What is you talking about the Avengers? I don't need a team. I'm gonna say, dude, I'm a one-man army. Okay, Peter is the only street level hero that could actually fisticuff some of these great characters that we come to know and love in the Avengers. I mean, literally, in the last comic, he single-handedly, not defeated, or but he put down the Avengers. He put them to shame. Like they tried to catch him in the city, and this man was like, "Okay, Thor, webbing your eyes, moving away from you. I know I can't defeat you. I'm smart." Tony tried to catch him. This dude hacked his suit in an instant. Okay, Tony, you think I don't learn from my mistakes? You're hacked. Goodbye. Captain America threw his shield. He caught it, tossed it back, stronger, back at him. Captain America couldn't even react. Oh shit! Even Captain Marvel couldn't even stop Peter. Okay, and then he fooled them all into following his own plan that he already had. You can't fuck with Spider-Man. So stop making him this little kid. Movie industry, stop changing characters.
I'm
That's
with it. I love the
Indeed.
fuck out of that.
Indeed.
Before you get to yours, Joe, I just want to shout out real quick to the chat. At a point, we had 16 live viewers, which usually caps to maybe like 12 or 13 or something. So a lot of people are showing up today, and we very much appreciate you.
Hell
If
yeah.
you have joined us brand new, make sure that you should also know
Leave
to
us your
subscribe.
trash too.
Yes, leave us your
Yeah.
trash, but also hit the like button. It would help
Tremendously.
the algorithm of YouTube because
No,
it's
screw that.
ass.
Ebonics.
Uh,
Algorithm.
the Ebonics algorithm.
Struggling.
We very much appreciate you. For 16 people that were viewing, there should be at least 16 likes or something close to it. But we still very much appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming. Godhead.
We gotta do
Take it
another
away.
podcast next time.
Take it away, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages,
And
Oh,
everything in between.
do you see? Yes, inclusivity. I hope you can see this stack of random objects
fuck
that I
is
just
that?
pulled off my desk. Do you know what this is?
No.
Yes,
A
sir.
bottle
This
of
is
water.
trash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that a dusted Xbox?
This trash is quite lonely. So you know what? We're gonna give it some company. Mortal Kombat. All of it. Throughout its entire history is going in the trash. Its
Damn.
developers, its
Even the
fans,
trilogy?
its adaptations, All of them. Okay, maybe except for like
Game
the
came out
first,
like 7
the
months
first
ago.
3 or 4 games. It's fine.
Even the movie?
You know what? Yes.
The good
Even
movie,
with
the bad
Everything
movie?
from Mortal Kombat Africa.
Which movie? Which
even
movie?
the first movie when Raiden had the lightning eyes at the end, and he was like, "What the fuck was
I
it?" He
don't
said he was
think
like,
so.
"I don't think so."
Understand? Yeah, I'm going there today.
Damn.
You know what? You know what? I was gonna go light on it, but you know what? I need to throw that in the trash too because I have a particular gripe with that movie right now.
Oh my god!
But
What about-
let's talk about Mortal Kombat as a series of fighting games, so to speak. Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3, I can get down with it. You know, it's nostalgic, it's classic, it's not too up
Trilogy?
there, but it's pretty simple. Yeah, the original trilogy. It's nice.
Until you get
Clear
Husky Food for
sequential
like 3
story.
years.
Clear sequential story goes from one to the other. Cool, no problem with that. Then we get to MK4. Radical changes goes into 3D. Okay, had some missteps, is a little rough around the edges, but you know what? It was still following the story sequentially. It made sense. You got one thing that leads to another thing, that leads to another thing, that leads to another thing. Fine. Then we get to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And understand, I'm a former Mortal Kombat fan. I got my start with the fighting games
Me
with
too.
Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. The 3D era is my thing. Obviously, I have a thing for 3D fighting games. We'll put that aside for now. Though I enjoy the 3D era fighting games, I can acknowledge and be realistic that the problems with the storytelling of Mortal Kombat began around there with their games. Because what did they do? They said, oh, we're going to have Shang Tsung and Quan Chi team up and kill both Liu Kang and
Liu
Shao
Kang.
Kahn, the two biggest and heaviest hitters, the OGs of Mortal Kombat. Okay, that's a big milestone.
Turn them into zombies.
What do you do? What do you do after that? Okay, let's introduce a new character who was there the whole time from the beginning, and then we're going to introduce a new villain who was there from the beginning, and let's just completely abandon whatever we set up there, and then let's introduce Shujinko and the Dragon King. Okay, you go on your quest for the Kami Dogu. He's been deceived, all that. Okay, where do you go from there now? Good premise. Where do you go now? Well, Midway's about to go bankrupt, and this console generation's about to be over. So let's have Armageddon. Let's bring every character back for a big old potentially last hurrah, because this could be the last one, and forget if whether or not the premise makes sense, and it's okay. The story in Mortal Kombat Armageddon was told very well. I like the story mode of that. But the premise is what falls apart. Where did this Armageddon come from? How did the Mortal Kombat character's abilities suddenly lead to the destruction of all the realms? And it's like, okay, sure, whatever, Armageddon. Now where do we go from here? Let's reboot. Let's go back in time to the games that you all actually like, and then let's just restart it there, but just a little bit different. Okay, cool. We got back to Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3. You've killed off a lot of your heaviest hitters. Now where do you go? All right, let's introduce the combat kids. We got Cassie Cage, we got Kung Jin, we got Takashi Takeda, Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade are leading the squad. We got Kotal Khan, who's the new Outworld thing. We got Devora, who apparently was there the whole time. Now where do we go?
I forgot she's not in this game.
Yeah.
Let's reboot again. Let's have a direct follow-up to that which we set up in the previous game, and then ignore that, and then introduce Chronica, because the Titans are somehow more powerful than the one being that literally cannot exist within the realms without destroying the realms, but this Titan that's supposed to be bigger than space and time can be defeated by Mortal Kombat warriors in a tournament ladder. Sure, okay. You've laid the groundwork to reboot again and erase all of the mistakes from
Damn,
every
man.
other continuity of Mortal
Not
Kombat.
even DC, man.
Now what do? Okay, we started off just fine with Mortal Kombat 1. We reboot, new setup, new Liu Kang, all that out, cool. And then what do you do halfway through the story? You try to go Avengers Endgame, multiversal like timelines and shit. It didn't need all that. All you needed to do was tell a good, decent, straight up story, and you couldn't even pull that up right. And to make matters even worse, what do we have to hear every time? Am I watching The Flash? Because I keep hearing all this nostalgia pandering. Take a shot how many times you have to hear "it has begun" in the story Mortal Kombat 1. How many times do we have to get the same references over and over again?
I don't know, because I don't
have to
remember
get
it.
a reference to "we must stop this deadly alliance"? I'm done. I'm done with all that. I don't care about any of the nostalgia.
Forgettable ass story.
Exactly. And then to make matters even worse, the game itself is trash. The customization is garbage.
Ooh,
The
that's true.
gameplay is broken. Online is broken, missing
I heard
key
about that.
features at the launch of the game. Nobody is signing up for tournaments of this thing. People ain't watching it on Twitch. People ain't playing online. And then you Mortal Kombat simps have the nerve to come into Tekken forums groups on Facebook and talk about, man, everybody knows that Tekken is trash anyways. This got trash mechanics. The characters suck. Nobody plays this game.
Where the
Play
hell you
your
see
game.
that shit at?
No, this is true.
Oh,
This is
oh,
true. It was
listen,
on
where,
button
bro?
check.
I don't see
It was
anyone
on.
defending MK1.
It was on
That's
button
crazy.
check. It was on button check
there's
that
a
there.
handful.
What the hell is
There's
button
a
check?
select
What's his
handful.
Well, that's
you
what
already
messed
know.
up again. The
Mhm.
what's his name? The guy that does what's his name in challenges? I'm the daddy all the time in Mortal Kombat.
Not
God,
Ninja Killer?
no, not Ninja Killer. I forget his name, but he was recently. He did a tweet saying, "You guys are so pressed right now at how bad Mortal Kombat is, and look what you're going through with Tekken 8. That game is so trash. I'm
Not
so
even
glad to
comparable.
be here to watch the game
Not
burn."
even
Yeah,
comparable.
literally,
Because you want to know what the key difference between Mortal Kombat and Tekken 8 is right now?
Tekken's fun and has good customization,
Yes.
and it's a full game.
A complete game at launch? Yes, a fun game, a good fighting game. How many times do you have to hear about a player one advantage for people like that just do combos or whatever, and it'll drop depending on what side of the screen you're playing on?
Wait, that's still a thing in that game? They
Oh,
haven't fixed
God.
that?
I think they fixed it. I don't know. I don't keep up with this shit. But no, at this point, I'm done with Mortal Kombat. Even when they do certain things right, they fix the janky animation of like the Mortal Kombat X and MK9 and all that
Oh
stuff.
my god, Peacemaker's gun. That animation's so trash.
Oh, okay. So now there's still things that they haven't fixed. These guys need to learn how to animate. And even MK Tom Brady made a very good point. Part of the problem is that when you have legacy fighters like Street Fighter and Tekken, they have a foundation, a groundwork, and all you're doing is building on top of that. You might scale some mechanics back, but you're adding new things in. But at the end of the day, Street Fighter is still Street Fighter. Tekken is still Tekken. Mortal Kombat has no identity anymore because they restart development from the ground up every time. That's why their moves keep animating different. That's why the moves function differently every time. That's why they can never have consistent character models or character designs. They don't know what they're doing, and it's getting old.
Well,
Mortal Kombat is dead to me.
Their
I'm
only,
tired of the
identity
movies.
is
I'm tired of the
fatalities.
games. Yes,
And brutalities and just being bloody.
you're either a lore fan or you're a gore fan. The gore, I'm not even disturbed by it anymore. I just don't care. I don't give a fuck about fatalities anymore. It's not the 90s. I'm not 14 anymore.
Yeah.
The lore is all the way out of whack. So for me, there's no appeal. I'm done. So,
Greek fire.
yes.
that is the Greekiest of fire.
Joe, how long you been holding that in for?
Oh, I live with this. I live with this every day.
No, it's, that
That's
was,
my statement, Captain.
I couldn't even talk shit about Huarang that long.
I wanted to.
I'll save that for another episode. Don't worry, I got
Well,
you.
I wanted to
How's
say
it going,
because
Noel?
Prayer Hands made the comment earlier about having the longer podcast. This was just to test everybody,
Okay.
just to see how often we were.
That
And
makes
the other
sense.
thing is, I didn't want to make this one that long because it is WrestleMania night. There's
Hey.
2 nights of it. A lot of people said
No, I
they
didn't
wanted
know
to get
that.
to see the WrestleMania. So the next time we do this, if there is another, The Rock, that is right. If there is another By the Gods, then it will be happening probably next month. We'll try to do one at least once a month, and we will get that together for all of you. If you want another By the Gods, you know what to do in those comments to let people know that you enjoy the show.
Throw
You can
Mortal
also
Kombat in the
share,
trash.
and you can continue to put Mortal Kombat in the trash. Iconic Nightwing, Prayer Hands emoji,
Yeah.
Magnus, to our guests, Oni, Jay the Goddess, I am Fury, and everyone else that is in the chat. I'm not gonna do the "you deserve the hardiest gang"
Oh, not
thing,
Noel.
but I am gonna.
Damn.
Yeah, Noel was here too. He was all right.
Yeah.
Noel was here.
But I am gonna
He
say
wonders
thank
why I
you to
talk shit about him
everybody
on
that
stream.
pulled up today. Hey,
Yes.
well, look, you know what we do when we talk that shit. You can also get those hands in that game. You know how we do.
Hey.
But yeah,
Quick-
thank you everybody so much for coming. What's
Well,
up? What are you gonna do?
Quick shameless
welcome.
plugs, everybody.
Shameless plugs. Yes, everyone. Where can they find you? We'll start with you, Moji. Where can they find you, bro?
Mr.
Up
Prayer.
their hands.
He's
Did he
frozen.
die?
Oh, Moji. I thought I just heard Moji.
You.
I didn't hear the E.
Ah.
Twitch.tv/prayerhand emoji with an underscore at the end, or Twitter, the prayer hand.
Okay, that's what's up.
Okay,
Oni,
I've got to
Yes,
emphasize this because apparently this is a Midwest thing. It's prayer hand, not prayer hands emoji.
no, there's an S.
Everyone calls me prayer hands, and I don't really know why because it's literally just prayer hand emoji.
It just
Bro,
sounds better if you just say
It
prayer
makes sense.
hands.
There's
And that's
two
fine.
it
hands.
does.
But-
It
but-
does sound better.
But
That's
if I was
fine.
gonna say,
I'm
if we're gonna
not
say prayer
against
hands, I
it.
would say prayer hand emoji. It's only
In
there's
the
no S.
fighting game context, when you say hands, you know it's about that
Yeah.
hand, those hands, you know. But if you say hand, then you know just.
This is
Just
another
See,
one of
but
those.
I am the emoji. See, that's why it's not plural.
But
then
see,
just
I'm
say,
not the prayer hands. I am the prayer hand emoji.
I won't accept this because I think you were the same guy that posted that picture on Facebook about the Krogers, Myers, Aldi, all these
that's
things.
true.
You
Maybe it
punk,
is a
I
Midwest
hate
thing.
you. You're destroying my entire life and my perception of the world right now. Why?
Oni, where can people find more Oni?
he probably
Alright,
gonna be in the trash.
if you're looking for Oni
There he
is
is.
on Twitch at Eoni_OniX at Twitch TV. Also, I'm on
That
YouTube
name.
at
Yeah,
Eoni
but he
OniX.
has to fucking stream again. He hasn't streamed in like 6 months.
I know, right? I should one day, but it sucks. And then I'm also on I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch, and then I'm also on what's that other thing called? Twitter.
Also prepared to
The-
see
the
him
app
at
formerly
Mid-
known as
OniX.
also
Eoni
prepared to
OniX.
Nah,
see
it's
him
just
at
Twitter.
Mid South Outlaws and the
Oh, hey,
TWT
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he will be a Tekken World Tour competitor. So will Prayer Hands, and maybe if we're lucky, Joe the God Hand. We'll
So-
Wow, no, they gotta announce where
Um,
Tekken World Tour Finals are first.
So you can find me there. And you will always know it's me because I have tails everywhere. On everything.
but he's not a furry
I'm not a furry.
yet.
Jay the God Hand.
Yeah, shit, my RPG brain just went to Tales of.
Nah,
Jay the God
nah.
is- where can-
Miles tails per hour, my guy.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
shut up. There's a woman
Where-
in here.
There's
Tell
a
them where
woman
to
in here.
find you.
Where can we find
There's a
you?
woman, yeah.
You guys
In
can
her
find
house,
me on my
goddammit.
Twitch, where I also host Fighting Dreamers at twitch.tv, Jay the Goddess, and my Instagram is Miss Mambasita. So
Hey,
Miss what now? Miss what?
Mambasita.
Mambasita. Okay.
Man, don't make her
Yeah,
repeat
that's
herself
pretty
again.
Man, stop it. What if I want to find her?
We'll
I
put the
thought you
link in the
said my-
description.
You can find
I
me
thought you
there.
said
All right,
Mambasita.
one more
so I
time
was
with the
like-
Instagram.
I
Just
can do
spell
that
it.
too.
all right.
but she
Well,
she said
if you're
Mamba.
having any confusion, we can also drop that in the chat below as well. So that works.
Indeed.
That also works.
Well, somebody already did. There we go.
Bam. And there it is.
Damn.
So
We
for
got a fan
everyone
out
that has
there.
come here today, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided
That's
to
right.
come to us for By the
Listen.
Gods, and we very much appreciate you. But you know what? If you were a part of the group that said that casual players shouldn't join more fighting games, you can go in the trash too.
You in the
Mhm.
trash
with
too.
Boy, I'm telling you. And with that, we will see you next time.
Deuces.
Adios, everybody.
I hope, like,